Hey y'all, Chris, the Cruising Duck Man here. Just wanted to introduce myself for those who don't know me. I like to cruise and started hiding ducks on the cruise ships along with a lot of other people. You know, it's kind of a growing trend. One of those deals some people who have cruised for years and years have told me that it's kind of been a thing for 20, 30 years, but didn't really start big until the last 5 or so years, maybe. I know I've kind of read some stuff about a girl who started putting tags on ducks, whatever, and kind of took off from there. But I've also heard from some older people that said they've been doing it for 20 years, but without tags. So it was kind of whatever it is. I don't know. It was before my time. That's up for someone else to argue about. But anyway, a couple years ago, started hiding ducks with my daughter, and thought, hey, this is kind of fun. And then we started looking for them and found that it does keep me out of the casino a little bit more, because sometimes I spend a little too much time in the casino. I mean, we do a lot of casino comp cruises, so that's definitely a benefit of it, but it's a little side hobby to do whatever. Anyway, so started hiding ducks. Then I found my first 3D printed duck, and I thought to myself, hey, I would love to 3D print a duck. I don't know how. I'm not tech savvy at all, and decided I was going to come home and buy my first 3D printer. Bought a cheap one. I should have listened to the advice of a good friend who told me which brand to go with. I did not. I went with just kind of a cheap Ender 3 is what it was. I went with the basic non-auto leveling. Took me a month before I first printed a duck that was usable. Everything else kind of was junk, and I wouldn't give it to nobody. I mean, it was just, yeah. But lesson learned. I'll tell you in another video on which brands I prefer as far as user-friendly, out-of-the-box, almost turnkey type style. Best bang for your buck, that kind of thing. But anyway, so I started 3D printing ducks, and we try to cruise anywhere from 4 to 6 times a year, depending on the length of the cruise and stuff like that. Being self-employed, I can kind of take some time off, but I've kind of got to balance that where, hey, I still kind of employed. You know, when I do get back, if you take too much time off, I might have to find a new job, I guess. But anyway, I would just make fairly basic ducks. Now I've kind of got into a lot more of trying to take an assortment on every cruise we go on, different styles, different designs. I also try to personalize some of them. I'll put, like for instance, we did the Icon of the Seas inaugural. I did Icon on the ducks, and that was probably my first cruise where I really went crazy as far as the amount of ducks we took, just because I'd planned ahead for that cruise. We had taken, I want to say around 750 if I remember right. A lot of times I'm not actually counting ducks, I'm counting the labels that I'm putting on them, sorry. We used to print out the tags. My wife would print them out. We'd take rubber band, string, whatever, put them on there. We would do the traditional stuff where it had, you know, the family, where we were from, all that kind of stuff. But it got a little excessive with the amount of ducks we were taking, so it became a lot harder for us to do that. And even got to the point where we would take the ducks and then tag them once we got on the ship, but then I would spend a couple hours sitting in the room the first day just putting tags on them. So I did kind of streamline mine. I've got little 1-inch stickers for my small ducks. I got 2-inch stickers for my big ones. They just have my name and the QR code to my Facebook. So if anything, people will know who it was that gave it to them. I'm usually pretty active on a lot of the Facebook groups, so people kind of get a general idea who I am before the cruise if you're on the Facebook page. I know some people don't get the Wi-Fi on there, so they won't scan it and they won't know who it is until after they're off the cruise. But sorry, I've been a little under the weather, so I'm drinking some hot tea. But anyway, so we Icon was our first big one, about 750 ducks. Now we're generally around 1,000 ducks a cruise, give or take. I mean, sometimes if I'm taking more larger ducks, then I have less room for normal sized ducks, so then I'll fill it in with some keychains and stuff like that. We just got off, in September, we got off Carnival Mardi Gras, and we had taken 2,000 on there because I had some cousins going, so then their kids were coming, whole thing. But anyway, I think we did 4 or 5 suitcases, not completely full. Like, I know I had 2 of them that were completely full, and the others were kind of mixed and matched. And I kind of, sometimes depending on the ducks, some of them are a little more fragile than others. So for traveling, so I'll throw some clothes around them, cushion stuff. But generally, I don't try to take that many, just because with my cousin's kids, I kind of thought, well, they need something to do too, to give them a new experience, because for some of them, I think most of my cousin's kids, it was their first cruise, and I wanted them to have that, hey, I want to do that again experience. So I doubt I could take that many on any that I have coming up, just because flying from Oklahoma to any cruise port, I'm limited on my luggage. So I do know the Star of the Seas inaugural that we're booked on. I'm wanting to take as many as I can. However, I think we're going down like 4 days early and going to Disney. I've got some sort of Disney package deal that I've bought into, so I've got to get that used up before it expires. So I think we're going to go down like 4 days early, so I've got to kind of pack for extra luggage, but I'll probably pay for extra suitcases on that just so that I can take more ducks. But I also like to do more of the souvenir style ducks for those special cruises. I don't have one. Well, these are standard keychain. Now on the Icon, I did Icon of the Seas right there. Actually do have, these were left over from the Icon inaugural. Excuse me, Icon of the Seas inaugural ducks. I had a few that got kind of lost in luggage, but these were just some random Icon ducks that I had done back then, and I'll do those on special ones. We're doing Utopia in December for my youngest son's 18th birthday, and amongst ducks, I actually printed some ducks on surfboards that have a little deal, so I can, like, kind of a Christmas ornament. But then I also did Utopia 2024 with a little crown and anchor on it, so put those tags on there also. That particular one I actually bought the surfboard off Temu, and then I glued a duck to it, and then I'm putting that on there. That gave me the idea of, hey, why don't I just 3D print a surfboard and a duck together, so it's a one-piece deal. And so I've actually started making some of those too. And the gluing stuff together doesn't really hold up as far as breaking apart, but anyway, kind of went off on a tangent there. But I'll do another video kind of explaining more of what I have going on in my printer room, but I just kind of wanted to introduce myself a little bit. And I'm new to the YouTube channel thing, so I'm sure it's going to take me a little while to figure out. And I apologize for all the goofy videos I'll probably be posting. So thank you all for tuning in.